Polenta just goes good with everything, and it doesn't need much. A nice, sturdy pot, boiling water. Let's salt it. Okay. A little bit of oil. And some flavorings, bay leaves. These are the flavors that you want to kind of give the polenta itself. So let's pour in the polenta a pioggia, the Italian version, just like rain. Let it fall like rain. So let's pick it up with a whisk and just throw it right where the whisk is so that you're incorporating it so it doesn't form the little bubbles, if you will, of polenta in the water. So at some point, switch to a wooden spoon, and let's lower the heat. We don't need all that heat. And while this is bubbling away, we can do the sauce. And it's gonna be a simple sauce of pancetta bacon, a bacon slab, a little bit of oil. Let's put it right in here. Let me mash up some garlic, just like that. So it'll give me the flavor, but I can remove it later. You know, polenta was such a basic staple in our kitchen. Actually, up north, Friuli-Venezia Giulia, Istria, where we come from, we're called polentoni. You know, like the Tuscans are called mangiafagioli. And that means that we eat a lot of polenta. Now, especially after World War I, there was hunger in that area, and polenta really took over because it was a source of nourishment and food. So, you asked me about polenta. I'll eat it anyway, and I'll show you how to cook it anyway. From savory to dessert. I want a little texture in the pancetta, in the bacon. So let's cut it in lardoons like this. Okay. To that, we'll add some broccoli, so bacon makes anything taste better. Bacon and broccoli is delicious. So you can do this really with any vegetables. Whatever it's in season, you know, I like my seasons. I love cooking in season. Okay, and not too big. I want to cut it kind of all of the same sizes. Let's see. Okay. So the bacon is nice and crispy. Let's put right in there. A little peperoncino. A little bit of salt, although the bacon has salt. And I will add a little bit of water to that. And we'll let that cook away. I love it when you come to my social media and you ask Lidia. And here we have Shari Colgrove from Gladstone, New Jersey. She asks, can you save polenta? Every time I refrigerated the leftovers, it solidifies, and I don't know what to do with it. Well, that happens. And that's the best part of polenta, because once you use it nice and flowing like this, you take yourself a pan, a loaf pan, any nice pan that will fit what you have left over, and you just pour it in there. You don't have to oil it or butter it or anything. It will come right out. And you put it in the refrigerator, cover it with a plastic wrap, and the next day it'll be a nice piece of solid polenta. And then you can have fun with it. You can cut it in slices, you can grill it, you can fry it, you can make it into a crostino, and you can have breakfast like I did. So there's many ways of using polenta. So don't worry about cooking a nice pot full of polenta because the leftovers are just as good, if not even better. So the polenta is cooked, the sauce is done. You see it has a nice sheen, and you can see how it pulls off the sides easily all together. That's when you know that the polenta is done. Let's whip in some butter. Okay, there's a lot of polenta here, so if you're looking, oh, all that butter. But you can put olive oil in there as well. Grated cheese, This is hot stuff. And I think we are ready to plate. So you can bring this pot to the table if you're really familiar. Don't worry about rushing because polenta will stay warm for quite a bit. It's in a hot pot and it really contains its heat. So this looks simple, good. That looks good. A little bit of provola cheese. And that's a serving. Masterclass polenta basics. Slowly whisk the polenta into the boiling water. Don't forget to stir the bottom and the corners of the pot. Remember to remove from heat when adding flavorings like cheese. Never rush your polenta, let it plop away. Now, I want to show you what to do with the leftover polenta, if you will. In this case, I'm gonna get this wide pan. So whatever you have left over, you just pour it in a pan. And if you have less left over, then you just pour it in a smaller pan. You choose a smaller pan. Okay. And if you have somebody in the kitchen to help you scrape it out, that's great because this is a hot pot. Okay. So you see when I tell you to stay close to the pan, because you don't want, it always kind of attaches a little bit to the bottom, but you don't want it to scorch. Get it in the corners, just even it out, and shake it into place. You let it cool a little bit, then you put a plastic wrap so it doesn't form a hard kind of crust on the top, and you put it in the refrigerator. And tomorrow you have another meal, many meals. But let's come back to today's meal. That looks pretty good to me. You see, even as it stays in the plate, it solidifies a little bit. And you eat polenta around the edges where it is cooler. Like that, and you kind of turn the plate and you eat it around the edges. So let me, a lot of memories, good memories. Mellow, heartwarming, kind of hugging at a complex flavor of the corn, and then the topping of bacon and a little bit of broccoli. Doesn't get any better.